It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine?
It's just my opinion.
Okay. Hey everybody, how you doing? And welcome to Sway. That's right, welcome to the channel where I give you my absolute honest opinion. And I don't give a flying. How you feel about it? Today is what? May 2nd, Sunday, May 2nd, 2021. No, this is not weed. This is actually a cigarette that I made because I don't have any Newports. But I do have some papers, some filters, and loose tobacco in the bag. But before I get started, do not forget to hit like, make a comment, hit the subscribe button, press the notification icon so you can be notified of every time that I post a video. So I just got back home from church. It was funny because I was in the middle service. I was in the middle service, and then all of a sudden, I had to use the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom. My phone starts ringing. I forgot to turn off the ringer. This is a buddy of mine, and anyway, so I go back to the service, waiting, just enjoying it and whatever. It just reminded me of a situation that happened some years ago. My grandfather passed away in January of 2018, right around his birthday, because his birthday is in January, or should I say was. And he passed away. Mind you, this is a different church that I'm talking about, that I'm going to be talking about. But anyway, so pastor of that church, he was checking up on us. He's a good dude. I love that guy. He's a good, awesome guy, awesome brother. Nothing negative to say about the guy. Maybe a critique here and there, but nothing negative to say about him at all. But about 3 months later, we start going back. My mom, my aunt, myself. And the first Sunday that we went, or was it a Tuesday, I don't remember, but they were talking about a talent show that they were gonna have. So I was like, okay, cool. I have another talent show story that I gotta tell you, but anyway, that's for another day. But anyways, so I was already going through a lot of crap with certain things. Like 2 or 3 of the brothers in that church, and they have been spoken to many times, and then they continue to do some stuff, whatever. But that wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back for me. And anyway, so we just got back, and my mom, she was like, Sway, please, go on the talent show. You're a great singer, and go on a talent show. I said, Ma, I'm not really up for it. I'm not really up for the talent show. I'm not up for it. I'm still, it's only been 3 months since my grandfather passed away, and he was more of a father figure to me. But anyway, so I said fine. After some coaxing, whatever, I said fine. So, So here comes the night of the talent show. It was a Tuesday night, and it was cool. I was like, you know, and I talked to the pastor and I said, can I do like 1 or 2 songs? He said, yo, you could do 2 songs, whatever. So I think I was number 4 or 5, the 5th person that was going to perform. I don't remember exactly. But anyways, so I was originally only going to do 1 song. Okay? I had 2 prepared, but you know, I was only going to do 1 song. You know? So, you know, everything goes off without a hitch, right? You know, the MC, he was like, oh, blah, 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 whatever. Mind you, the MC is one of the brothers that I'm talking about. That he's been talked to many times, and he still does some things. And, long story short, it is my time. And he decides to interrupt. Just as the music started, he starts in Spanish. All right, everybody, come on, let's join along. Like, what the fuck, dude? This is a talent show. You're literally gonna take over my spot. I got pissed. So I'm literally pissed off because he didn't do it for anybody else, right? He had to interrupt and whatever. So and you know, as he says it, I'm keeping a smiling face, mind you. I'm barely able to stand up. I'm holding down for dear life with my my cane, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, you motherfucker. This is what I'm saying in my head. I'm like, you motherfucker. And so anyway, so I do the song, and then I was like, you know what? In my mind, I'm like, you know what, dude? Fuck you. I'm going to do another song. I'm like, dude, fuck you. I'm going to do another song. I'm going to. And so I put up my I told the guy, the one that was at the mixer, I was like, go to song 2. I was like, go to song 2. I gave him a flash drive of like different stuff and whatever. Some songs were original stuff to me, other stuff was like, you know. But anyway, so I go to song 2. And I made it in English, and it was an English song. I mean, there were Spanish lyrics to it, but I did it in English. Nobody knew the English stuff. As soon as I was done, I looked at him, and I gave him the stink eye, and in my mind, I was thinking, you motherfucker, I want to hit you right now. But you know what? I kept it cool. And I sat back down. Now I'm thinking he's gonna do it to other people, cause like maybe other guys, right? Because so far they're like everybody before me were all girls and women, you know, from the young kids to the young girls, right? You know, that are like 10, 11, to the older women that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s. Okay. So I'm thinking he's gonna do it for all the guys because supposedly men don't know how to sing unless they're part of the praise and worship team or something like that. Mind you, this guy don't know me. He doesn't know my history. He doesn't. Actually, he does. He doesn't know my full history, but he does because, you know, Pastor has talked about me many times, saying, look, he's a good, you know, he's a good singer. He already knows I preach, you know, because he's seen me preach. He's heard me preach, right? And when it comes to singing, it was like, Pastor was like, he's told him many times that he's a great singer and whatever. But I'm thinking he's gonna do it to all the other guys. No, at least let's say 10 other guys, because everybody either sang or they read a poem or they did some kind of like praise worship dance type thing or whatever. But anyway, so when it came to the other guys that were singing, this fucking piece of shit didn't do none of that. No, he had to take over mine. There's some other things that happened, but man, that pissed me the fuck off. Like, who the fuck are you? This is a talent show, not take over somebody else's spot, okay? But anyway, ever since that day, I never showed up to that church again. Ever since that day, I never showed up to that church again, and you know what? It's all good. Nothing against the pastor or the pastor's family. Nothing against, you know. Actually, no, I did show up a couple more times because the pastor wanted me to preach. Well, the pastor's wife wanted me to preach, but after I gave my sermon, I haven't showed up since. Again, nothing against the pastor, nothing against the pastor's wife or his family or the majority of the people, because the majority of the people are wonderful, you know. And one of the things that, when it comes down to churches, you know, church ministries, because the people are the church, not the building, not the legal organization, the people. The people are the church. The people are the church. And one of the things that I've known since I was a child is that, you know, a bad apple spoils a bunch. And if the pastor doesn't do anything about the bad apple, this is the critiquing part that I have, okay? That if the pastors of the church ministry don't do anything, then they're going to lose a lot of people. They're going to lose a lot of people, a lot of souls that they're trying to win for Christ. And there's two brothers that I've known that they told me we're on the same page. We basically left for the same reason. We left for the same reason. And the best way I can say it, again, this is just a critique. I'm no ill will towards that pastor at all. It's just a critique that if you're the pastor of that church, you're the leader of that church, you have to be mindful of everything. And if something is going wrong, you have to make an effort to fix it. And this goes for every pastor out there. Again, I have no ill will towards him, towards this pastor, towards his family, towards the majority of the congregation. But if you know, if you have certain people in positions, you know, if you're a pastor and you have certain people in certain positions, they need to not overstep their bounds. They need to remember not to overstep their bounds. And if they overstep their bounds, if somebody complains, then the pastor has to rein it in or remove them. Either they need to, you know, fix it by talking to the person and teaching that person what that position is, or remove them from that position. Because anybody in any position within a church construct, they have to know better. They have to know better. They have to know their role. They have to know, the proper way to do things and what have you. Like, for example, in the music ministry, and I'm not giving away the name of the church ministry or the pastor or whatever, because you know what, I don't want anybody to go out there and try to troll them or anything, because the truth is like I said, no, other than what happened to me or whatever, I love everybody there. But okay, in the music ministry, the leader of the music ministry, cool ass dude, wonderful dude. I got nothing but the best of things to say about the guy, okay? He was the leader of the music ministry. But then there was like one or two guys in there that would overstep their bounds and go over his head. And it didn't matter that this gentleman was the head of the music ministry. They were allowed to do whatever. In this case, the pastor needed to stop being the nice guy and say, look, he's the leader of the music ministry, you go through him. If you go above him, above his head, you're out. That simple. There's another brother who is men's leader. I voted him. I was one of the people that voted him in to be men's leader. Great guy, wonderful guy. And you had these brothers in these positions that they should know better. They should know better. They should be. But no, they were acting ghetto. They were acting thug and being very threatening and whatever. And if he said something, nothing was being done. So again, no ill will towards the pastor or anything, just a critique. But I cannot be a part of a church ministry like that. Alright, so I'm back inside. So, as I was, and the reason why is because a lot of people don't start walking or whatever, and they're, so I don't want them to think that I'm filming them, even though I'm on my property and I can and whatever, but, I'm trying to do this vlog, so, I also don't want people, like, interrupting, screaming, yelling, or whatever, and then I have to, like, edit, like, a billion times. But anyways, as I was saying was, a lot of, there has to be a balance when it comes to churches. When it comes down to churches, okay, there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance, within the doctrine, because some churches are too strict, but but then also there's a bunch of hypocrites within those churches, those church ministries, if you can call them a ministry. And then there's also those church ministries that are too liberal, and there's really no order. There's really no order to things. There has to be a balance between, in doctrine wise, and a real, because real biblical doctrine is balanced, okay? Real biblical doctrine is balanced between certain things being strict and other things it's more free and what have you. When it comes down to the structure of the leaders of the church, everyone in their respective positions They have to know their position. They have to not overstep their bounds. It's a balancing act. It's always going to be a balancing act in everything. And if you put someone who is not ready, who is not spiritually ready, who's not emotionally ready, who's not any kind of ready into these positions, then a lot of mistakes will be made. Now, I'm not saying that even someone who is ready, I'm not saying that mistakes will not be made, because mistakes will always be made. But when the mistakes are made and you have the leader, the leader of the church ministry, the pastor, not doing anything about it, that is where you're going to lose a lot of people. Now, you're not going to please everybody, obviously, especially in Christianity, because a lot of people, they want certain things this way, certain things that way, whatever. No, the pastor has to go by the vision that God has given them. But alongside with the vision that God has given them, they have to make sure that the people that are leading under them go by the same mission, as well as they are within their respected leadership roles, not overstepping their bounds and what have you, because if your leadership role was with the deacons and you overstep and go into the music ministry leader's role, that's very disrespectful. That's going to there's going to be problems. There has to be a clear understanding of, okay, this is your position, this is your role. If you need something from another thing, you work with this leader, or if you need something from another thing, you work with this leader. You in no way or what, and there's so much to it that people don't understand as far as the structure or the hierarchy. For if that it's I think that would be the better word, the hierarchy and the structure of the church ministry. There's a lot of things that people don't understand that needs to be taken care of, and and it has to be taken care of with biblical principle on the teachings of Christ and the leaders that Christ himself placed within his disciples and what have you. And yes, no, there's gonna be discussions, there's gonna be debate, there's gonna be arguments, there's gonna be mistakes being made and what have you. But as a whole, the church ministry has to come together to keep everything unified, keep everything together, fix any mistakes that have been made. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to remove people from positions, and that has to happen. What really, and I've said this before on other videos, when it comes to Christians and what have you, on the Protestant side of things, we don't consider Catholicism to be Christianity, and we also don't consider Jehovah's Witnesses to be Christians or Mormons. Mainly because of certain key things in their beliefs, certain key things within their beliefs and their teachings. So, but let's take like the Catholic side of things, okay? Let's say it's the Catholic side of things, and where throughout the years, throughout the centuries, how many children have been abused? by the Catholic priest. And instead of removing that Catholic priest and having him arrested or what have you, they just give out a bunch of money. Okay, you know what? Fine. Give out a bunch of money, but remove that Catholic priest from their position. Let them suffer the consequences for what they did. So there's a lot of balancing going on. Just like with any organization, right? There's a lot of balancing going on, just like with any organization that has a hierarchy structure within leaders upon leaders upon leaders. Whether, you know, even in business, you know, is the same thing. There has to be a balance. And things need to be observed within it. And in my experience, when it came to this particular church ministry, the balance wasn't being observed. And it's really a shame, because, you know, the pastor, the pastor and his family, they're wonderful people. The majority, like let's say 99% of the whole congregation, just wonderful. So, but if they can fix those little mistakes here and there, they would be better off. Because if they don't, what's going to happen is that there's going to be a lot of bad reviews, for lack of a better word. There's going to be bad reviews, and they're going to be thrown under the bus. Anyway, I decided to make this video. I don't know if anybody cares or not, but I figure I put it today. I got a lot of things to worry about. Later this month, I see another surgeon. I see the second surgeon that's going to be dealing with my operations. My operation is going to be one day, but with two or three different surgeons. I also have tomorrow, I got to call an attorney. No, I am not being sued. No, I am not being sued by Mr. Bluebirds. No, it's actually for something else. So I got to call an attorney tomorrow. Hopefully that kicks off. But I have so much stuff going on, and the phone is ringing. But I'm gonna be I have so much stuff going on, and I'm gonna be bringing you a bunch of different videos. A lot of things are in the works. I know I keep saying a lot of things are in the works, but it takes time to set things up, because of whether it's my schedule or somebody else's schedule, or just issues going on with trying to get things put together. But anyway, this isn't a normal vlog video. I'm actually more calm today. I'm not cussing up a storm or anything. So until next time, I'm Sway. I love you all. Peace.
It's just my opinion.